Hello, everyone. This is Luis Concepcion with Strategic Profit Line Trading, coming to you with the plan of the week for week number 22. As always, here's our disclosures. This content is intended for educational purposes only. This is not tailored to any one individual. Past performance does not guarantee future results, and all investment involve risks, including the loss of your original principal. As always, I'll go over the news, provide a market overview, and then earnings season is dwindling down. We only have 150 companies reporting this week. Here's last week's results. 23 zones provided. We went 4-1 in both stocks and options. No entry was 16. And we had one equity close in the zone on Friday, and that was work day. And then we have raw stores in progress. Here's the earnings outlook for the week. As you can see, no earning. After the market closes, well, the market's not open, but after the close, it's CAE, and then the rest of the week, I was able to pull 20 companies again to provide you guys this week. So we'll see how that plays out this week. I went ahead and I added the trades that for this past week for week 21, bringing us to 33 and 23 in the stock front. And then I went ahead also and added the options, and that's bringing us to 67 and 15 on the year. Moving into the news for the week, as you already know, Monday the markets close. Moving on to Tuesday morning, you can see we got consumer confidence 30 minutes after the open, so expect some volatility. For those of you trading Forex and futures, understand the Australian dollar has a CPI report after the market. Nothing significant on Wednesday. Moving on to Thursday, you can see we got GDP and unemployment claims pre-market, so we could have some volatility pre-market, and then we got pending home sales 30 minutes into the market. So those of you trading stocks that impact real estate, be mindful of that. We got PMI report after the market on Thursday. And then moving on to Friday, we have nothing impacting the US markets significantly. We got Canadian dollar being affected pre-market, and we got core PCE pre-market as well. And that's going to do it for our news this week. All right, moving into the charts for this week, starting with the SPX. As everybody knows, there was no secret. NVIDIA reported earnings. They blasted. However, it was real interesting how NVIDIA was the only thing that was up, because the very following day, you can see the S&P had a nice drawdown. But with that being said, the demand zone I have for you is 52.3694 to 52.06, 52, and no supply in the S&P 500. Moving on to the NASDAQ. Again, NVIDIA was high, but it was weird that uh the Qs fell. No supply in the NASDAQ. The first demand zone I have for you is 18,234 to 18,105. Moving on to the Russell. Gotta laugh again. Again, this zone is still holding since December last year. Came up here again and came right back down. So don't be surprised if we fill this gap here. With that being said, we got this outstanding zone that's been holding all year, 2075 to 2138, and on the demand side still hasn't changed, 1887.93 to 1847.64. Moving on to the Dow Jones. So as you can see, we're approaching this level right here. If the market opens weak on Tuesday morning, just be mindful that we may overshoot this and we might come and fill this gap. With that being said, that zone is 389.92 to 386.30 with no supply in the Dow Jones. Moving on to earnings. First company I have for you is ESLT. On the demand side, 192.17 to 188.40, and on the supply side, 230.11 to 234.31. Next company, HEI, Heiko. On the demand side, first level I have for you is 186.32 to 178.07 with no supply, as its previous high was 219.35. Moving on to box. It is in this level right now, so be mindful of where this opens on Tuesday morning. This level is going to be 25.34 to 24.56. And on the supply side, 29.83 to 31.08. Next company is Abercrombie and Fish. No supply is its all-time highs. The first demand zone I have for you is 93.78 to 86.60. Next, moving on to Chewy. No demand as its low was 14.69. First supply zone I have for you is 23.74 to 25.24. Next company is Dick's Sporting Goods. No supply for Dick's Sporting Goods at the moment. Its all-time high was 225.79. First demand zone I have for you is 170.43 to 165.01. In the event of an overshoot, we got 154.89 to 148.71. Moving on to Advanced Auto Parts. On the demand side, 46.67 to 42.19. And on the supply side, 83.68 to 88.58. Moving on to CRM, you can see CRM is in this level. This is a very, very aggressive level, so be cognizant of that. It's been holding. However, we got demand 274.89, 263.92 to 290, and on the supply side, 293.75 to 305.99. In the event of an overshoot on CRM, we have a level right here, 225.90 to 217.44. Next company is going to be AI. So we got a demand level here at 23.17 to 22.08, and on the supply side, 26.97 to 29.43. Moving on to Path. Again, this is the level that's been holding. On the demand side, we got 18.76 to 17.78, and on the supply side, we got 28.10 to 31.97. PSTG. Not sure where my levels went, but here we go. On the demand side, 42.27 to 40.12, and no supply as his all-time high was 62.22. Moving on to good old Foot Locker. On the supply side, we got 33.86 to 35.60, and 60 on the demand side, 16.58 and 11.45. Remember, as I said previously, Foot Locker likes to gap a lot on earnings. Dollar General. On the demand side, 109.55 to 98.78, and on the supply side, 270 to 206.75. Next is going to be Kohl's. On the demand side, 19.14 to 17.68, and on the supply side, 32 to 33.77. As you can see, we have a lot of stores reporting this week. Next is Best Buy. So for Best Buy, on the demand side, 64.20 to 62.33, and on the supply side, 86.18 to 89.14. Next is going to be Burlington Coat Factory. On the demand side, 174.15 to 168.57, and on the supply side, 222.29 to 239.95. In the event of an overshoot to the downside, you got 137.49 to 125.31. CBRL is next, or good old Cracker Barrel. It's been having a real tough time. Cracker Barrel, first demand zone I have for you is 34.61 to 25.50, and on the supply side, 80.16 to 84.38. Next is Costco. All-time highs, again, 816.87. No supply in Costco. First demand level I have for you is 701 to 691.45. Dell is next. No supply on Dell. Demand zone I have for you is 134.71 to 128.70. ZS. On the supply side, 190.91 to 202.54. And on the demand side, 128.85 to 123.11. Be mindful there is another level right below it at 119.74 to 113.26. MDB. On the supply side, 435.22 to 460.02, and on the demand side, 296.65 to 268.34. Last company I have for you this week is going to be Alta. On the demand side, we got 348.20 to 330.97, and on the supply side, we got 515.48 to 531.51. And that's going to do it for us with the charts this week. As always, here's my contact information. Feel free to check out the website to see when I have upcoming courses and classes. Feel free to email me. And if you're not following me so already, go ahead and do so in social media. Till next time, please have a plan and happy trading.